this. A young woman on a cross-country road trip with her fiance is now missing. The pair embracing van life. They'd been on the road out west for weeks, documenting it all on social media. And NewsNation's Marky Martin live for us tonight in Dallas. So, Marky, there aren't a lot of details so far on this woman's disappearance, but what do we know?
Yeah, there really aren't, Nicole. And according to authorities, it's now been 3 weeks since Gabby Petito's family last heard from her. The 22-year-old woman embarking on this cross-country adventure alongside her boyfriend starting in July, which actually the pair ended up documenting much of it for social media. Well, now reportedly that boyfriend is back home with no signs of Gabby.
I just want to know how you go on a trip with your girl and you come back without her and just like no story, nothing. Like, how does that work?
With no signs of Gabby. In this lone YouTube vlog titled Van Life, 22-year-old Gabby Petito and her boyfriend Brian Laundrie.
Brian Dirty Laundrie.
In this lone YouTube vlog titled Van Life, 22-year-old Gabby Petito and her boyfriend Brian Laundrie document their nomadic journey headed west from Long Island.
Since we left New York, I've only set up my hammock once, and now we're all the way in Utah, and luckily enough, I was able to set up my hammock on one of these trees.
And we're kind of like in the desert.
They make national park stops in Kansas, Colorado, Utah. The couple seems young and in love, seen laughing, kissing, cooking out of their van, and enjoying moments of quiet time.
Brian's stretching, doing some morning yoga.
Weeks later, Petito is now missing under suspicious circumstances. And last known to be in Wyoming's Grand Teton National Park. According to authorities, the 2012 Ford Transit the pair was traveling in has been recovered. Petito's parents telling other media outlets Laundrie is back home, lawyered up and not talking.
Like, hold on, dude. You took these people's daughter out on a cross-country road trip. You documented the stuff for social media each step of the way. Whether it be Twitter or Instagram or YouTube. And now you're back. There's no sign of her. It's not like you left her. It would be bad enough if you left her. If you was just like, man, I left that skis out there. She was acting up. You know, I had to show her what time it was. That would be bad. But you back, there's no sign of her. And now you got a lawyer? I mean, that's smart. But what? What?
Tito's parents telling other media outlets Laundrie is back home, lawyered up and not talking. New York Suffolk County Police Department telling NewsNation they could not comment on Laundrie or his whereabouts. His social media pages have gone silent, and he has yet to make a public plea or statement.
Yeah, that's suspicious. Like, you're not, even the fake plea, even if you did it, like, my girlfriend's busy. If anyone has, if anyone knows anything, please contact the family. We love you, Gabby. If you're out there, if you're listening, we love you. Like, none of that. Just, I'm back. I got a lawyer. Like, what you need a lawyer for? Like, this is insane, man.
His social media pages have gone silent, and he has yet to make a public plea or statement. A GoFundMe page started by a close family friend reads this: "We can confirm she is no longer in the van or with this companion." In a press release, police say Petito's family last heard from their daughter the final week of August and reported her missing on September 11th. Yeah, just a really bizarre case. And just for some physical markers here, since this has now launched a nationwide search for her, Petito is white. She is 5'5", about 110 pounds.
See, her being white doesn't mean anything, okay? It wouldn't mean nothing even if the guy she was with was a Sun man. There's no privilege in this case. They're not going to look for her any harder. They may look for her harder because her family's making a bigger fuss about it. Now, if Boone Shika go missing and don't nobody say nothing about it, and don't nobody, make no fuss about it, and it's also in a huge city with murders every day and shootings every day, and the police department is overworked, yeah, she might not get looked for as hard as this girl from this cow town, but this is probably the only thing that happened in the last 10 years. But aside from that, there's no privilege for this girl. She's missing, the guy's home. If he was a brother, they wouldn't be like, get a rope. That's the narrative they want, that people on Twitter probably. If he was black, they'd be like, get a rope. If he was a Sun man, they would tell if he was a Sun man, he'd already be doing the life sentence. Like, there's no privilege. She's missing. Look at her fate. Like, dude just home, chilling, got a lawyer. That's it.
Petito is white. She is 5'5", about 110 pounds, and she also has multiple tattoos, one of which is on her finger, the other on her forearm, that read, "Let it be." And as you can see from those videos and photos, she is blonde with blue eyes. Nicole.
All right, Marky, so Petito's boyfriend is not talking. Do we know where they were headed, what their final destination was? And
final destination? That was a bad word choice, babe. That was foul, sister. You ain't had to sneak that in there.
All right, Marky, so Petito's boyfriend is not talking. Do we know where they were headed, what their final destination was, and where did authorities actually find the van?
Great question. So according to that GoFundMe page, their final destination was actually Yellowstone, a place that Petito never made it to. Now, that van was found in Florida, Northport, Florida, where the boyfriend is reportedly staying. And just today, the Northport Police Department releasing a statement that at this time, there is no definitive evidence that a crime has taken place, but they did say, quote, "the circumstances are odd." Nicole.
We sure hope Gabby turns up safe. All right, Marky, thank you.
I was texting with Mr. Dirty Laundrie on them texts, man. Gabby was gone on the 25th, man, or the 26th. Them texts on the 30th, no. They probably was like, she don't even talk like this.
Some new developments tonight in the search for Gabrielle Petito. Fox News has confirmed that the police in Utah were called to an incident involving Gabby and her boyfriend, Brian Laundrie, some 2 weeks before she was last seen. Moab Chief of Police tells Fox News that somebody called about an incident between the two on August 12th, and they investigated and they didn't think there was enough evidence for criminal charges.
Okay. So now we story's starting to, give me a second, I'm coming up. So the story is starting to, unravel a little bit. And starting to be some color to the story. I pretty much figured that this was the case, the boyfriend, like, his behavior is beyond straight. Like, his behavior not strange. His behavior is ridiculous, man. My dude's behavior is insane. Of course he had something to do with this. Like, of course.
That incident in mid-August. Now, Fox 13's Evan Axelbank has the latest on the local investigation and the dueling statements from Gabby's family and Laundrie's lawyer.
The two families have released dueling statements, with the boyfriend's family saying that a search is being prepared in the Grand Tetons and that they hope she is returned to her family soon.
Returned to her family, her remains or alive? Because they're not saying alive. They're just saying they hope that she's returned. Yeah, the family want the body. The family wants the body. They'll take the body too, just so they can have closure. But the fact that they're not saying they returned alive is very, very troubling.
The two families have released dueling statements, with the boyfriend's family saying that a search is being prepared in the Grand Tetons and that they hope she is returned to her family soon. Her family says that may depend on what the boyfriend is willing to say. While Gabrielle Petito's colorful Instagram and YouTube posts are being dissected by police,
Hello, and good morning.
her family asked this in black and white. How does boyfriend Brian Laundrie stay in the background when he is the one person who knows where Gabrielle is located?
Unless you're the parent, you just can't describe how that feeling is because you've never felt it before. And I pray that no one ever feels it again.
They were reacting to this statement from Laundrie's attorney that says it is their understanding a search has been organized in or near the Grand Tetons, and that on behalf of the Laundrie family, it is our hope it is successful and that she is reunited with her family. Police towed the van they were in from a home owned by Laundrie's family in Northport this weekend. Brian was at home, but police say refused to talk. Police were back in the neighborhood today, but didn't go into the Laundrie's house.
You had someone who was in constant communication with their family on a pretty regular basis, and then all of a sudden nothing. Then all of a sudden the person she was traveling with is back here, and she's not here. That person's unwilling to talk with us to this point.
Yeah, but in America, you need proof. And you can't just convict somebody off circumstantial evidence. So they need some evidence, and they need some proof. They need a body, they need a motive, they need some forensic evidence. Third world country, they'd have been like, man, come on, dude, you did it, man. Come on, man. Go and walk up on that gallows, man. You know you did it. They would have been like, but America is such a great country. You're guilty until proven innocent, man. Regardless of your background, whether you're a sun man or a glacier glider.
That person's unwilling to talk with us to this point.
Gabby's family says they want immediate answers to where he last saw her and why he apparently left her all alone. They say he had referred to her as the love of his life.
What we need is to bring Gabby home and find her. So please, everyone, if you can look at the picture, memorize her face, and just keep a lookout. And let us know if you see anything.
Gabby's family says they implore him to at least say if they are looking in the right area. Right now, Northport police say they do know more than they're able to say publicly, but that's to protect the integrity of the investigation. Right now, Northport police say they have no evidence that a crime has been committed. Evan Axelbank, Fox 13 News.
New documents from Moab police shed light on the relationship between a Florida woman and her boyfriend, who is now a person of interest in her disappearance.
22-year-old Gabby Petito and Brian Laundrie were on a cross-country road trip to see national parks when she went missing.
Moab police confirmed to Fox 13 News that their officers responded to an incident involving the couple on August 12th. A police report indicates a bystander saw an altercation between the two and called law enforcement. Responding officers described the incident as a, quote, mental health crisis, and no charges were brought against either of them.
Let me just break this down for you. I've been in these situations when a guy and a girl is an altercation, and the police respond. 9 times, well, I'm not going to say 9 times. 97 times out of 100, the guy's going to jail. And that's just the way it is. I'm not complaining about that. I mean, men are stronger. You know, we don't have to have the babies. You know, that's just the way the world is. Like, if they call there and it's a fight or some kind of physical altercation, and they show up, you going to jail. Now, about, I would say 30 to 40% of the time, maybe even a little less, maybe 25% of the time, both parties go to jail. You know? And then there are those incidents, few, incidents where nobody goes to jail, where they're able to mediate it. And what that tells me is that she was the aggressor. There's no way he was the aggressor and nobody went to jail. Okay? It just don't work like that. Now, it could. I'm not saying there aren't incidents where it has. It just doesn't normally work like that. So what I'm thinking, when they said mental health, I'm thinking that she may be the one with the mental health issues. And if he was going through a mental health episode, he would have gone to jail. I know y'all think that glacier gliders just do whatever they want. Listen, I live in a town that's 95% white now. Well, 90% now, because every day more Sun people are coming here. But traditionally, and I've been coming here for 10, 11 years, frequently, 4 or 5 times a year, for 10, 11 years. In towns where they ain't nothing but glacier gliders, they get arrested. They get pulled over. You should see how many people get pulled over up here. I never see anybody pulled over in D.C. Rarely, like it's rare. Here, left and right, like all over getting arrested. These people get arrested. Glacier garbage. Okay, it's a lot of glacier garbage here, man. And if there's an incident with a man and a woman, that glacier glider is going to jail. Okay? So he didn't, it was her that was beating on him. I promise you.
A police report indicates a bystander saw an altercation between the two and called law enforcement. Responding officers described the incident as a, quote, mental health crisis, and no charges were brought against either of them. Meanwhile, the Northport, Florida Police Department is now the primary investigating agency in this case. They say they're trying to find out as much as they can as quickly as possible.
There are things that we know in this investigation that we're trying not to release. I know you guys are all doing your best to get some of that info, but we really think for the integrity of this investigation that it's important that we not release everything we know when we know it.
Laundrie has returned to Florida. Police confirm he is not cooperating with their investigation. Petito's family hopes the photos of her on her road trip will lead to tips that help find her.